All right. Hello, hello, Lisa. How's it going?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for your
I
time
am,
and consideration.
yeah. Yes, yes, you are very, very welcome. And thank you for your time as well, Lisa. I'm excited to speak to you because you have a great, great professional background when it comes down to your experience in the talent acquisition, talent coordinator, community and role. So, if you don't mind, Lisa, tell me a little bit about your experience in that field, and we'll go from there.
Yes, well, I have about 5 years in human resources, not progressively, but on and off. And during that tenure, I've been an HR coordinator, recruitment coordinator, which is also called talent acquisition coordinator. I've been an onboarding specialist, and I've also been a junior full life cycle recruiter for non technical roles. So my background is pretty diverse within HR. I've been fortunate to be introduced to a lot of different avenues within the HR scope.
That's an amazing introduction to your professional experience, and I appreciate that, Lisa. And you said it best, right? You've worked in various roles in the human resources space. I have your resume listed here with, I have a workplace coordinator, recruiting coordinator, HR assistant, onboarding specialist, HR recruiter, and it goes, so on and so forth from there. So, what is it about talent acquisition that keeps you in a role like that?
I think what keeps me wanting to stay in human resources and build a career in that in
Mhm.
general is the people connection. I love servicing the candidates, helping them, whether it's onboarding, whether it's extending an offer, whether it is helping them with their benefits, whether it
Mhm.
is, introducing a new job to them. I just really love the candidate interaction.
That's incredible. And that's something that I enjoy as well as the people aspect in a role such
Yeah.
as this, right? We get to speak and see so many people every single day, and it's truly an impactful role. So I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Um, and we know when it comes down to recruiting or talent acquisition, we're not just looking for perhaps one role. We may have up to, 5 to 6 roles at a time. So how are you able to, just stay organized and manage your open recs at a time?
Well, I really feel that one of my strong sets are time management and organization. I use my Microsoft Office to real my calendar to keep me on point for
Mhm.
those things that I need to do during the day, during the week, during the month. And I
Mhm.
use my task list in there. I keep a day runner on my desk with the to-do list, and I just work it from there. I've learned to
Absolutely.
utilize, my written notes, my written task list, and Microsoft Outlook very proficiently.
That is wonderful, and I appreciate you sharing that. Now, we've kind of established the organization of that. So when it comes down to getting a new rec or new role, walk me through your process on sourcing for a candidate, and what tools or platforms you've used.
Yes, I've used LinkedIn for recruiter and, of course, the various job boards. I especially like Indeed because it's very user friendly. And I just start off by getting with the hiring manager hands me the requisition with the job, and if he needs me to post it on the job boards, then I do so. And then I start just sourcing candidates through primarily LinkedIn for recruiter and Indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Did you have any metrics at all in your last roles?
No,
Please
I've been
go.
very fortunate that I haven't worked in metrics driven environments. If I had a preference, I would prefer not to work in metrics driven environments
Yes.
because I think that they have you focusing more on numbers than the quality of service.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. And what kind of other systems have you used? Not for the sourcing nonetheless, but any other systems that you're familiar with using, perhaps a Google or a Microsoft system?
I've used all Microsoft Office products, of course. I have been introduced to the Google Workspace
Mhm.
somewhat. I've used that. I've also used SharePoint, and I've also used several different applicant tracking systems. I've used Taleo, I've used BrassRing, I've used Bullhorn. I've been introduced to Workday. I've been introduced to Success Factors, and I've used RecruiterBox as well.
That's incredible. It sounds like you're very savvy when it comes down to systems and you're very adaptable in itself. And
Yes.
Lisa, let's say if I were to connect with one of your previous employers and I was like, hey, tell me a little bit about Lisa's work ethic. How would they describe that?
I think that they would say that I'm a hard worker, but I can be very hard on myself. That I'm a great team member, very loyal, and I'm always looking for ways to improve myself or to grow within the organization.
That is incredible. And thank you for sharing that with me, Lisa. My last question for you, I would say I have two. Do you have any upcoming time off that we should know about?
No, not that I know of, not yet. No.
Awesome. And then when were you looking to start a new position?
I would prefer sooner than later, of course.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Now, Lisa, I want to thank you again for the time spent with me. It truly has been a pleasure getting to know your professional experience.
Thank you so much again for your time and consideration.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure and you're very welcome. I do want to ask Lisa for you to hang on with me a little bit on this recording and don't hang up on me quite yet.
Okay, fine. Thank you.